Hey guys, I want to talk to you today about the Centurion Action 10, the PC's version of the British Tier 10 medium tank, and why I think we should have this tank either in Blitz as a replacement for the 4202, or, like the Object 140, a side option from the Centurion 7 Mark I. As you can see, the Centurion Action 10 stats are pretty fantastic. Got a great top speed, great power to weight, penetration that equals the Leopard, and a reload time that equals the Leopard as well. Great gun elevation and gun depression, along with a good shell travel time, shell velocity, and damage per minute. It's not a brawler in the aspect that the 140 and the T62A are, but more of a brawler on hills. It does so much better than the FV4202 does on hills. So you can see the top speed and the power to weight are pretty fantastic for the tank, giving it just a bit more than it is on Blitz right now. But the armor, just look at that turret. Look at how fantastic the turret sloping is. It's got the Carnarvon's turret on a tier 10 medium with 10 degrees of gun depression. Just look at that turret. It's fantastic. If you angle it even slightly, it becomes almost impossible to pin. Look at those angles. It's an auto ricochet at that point, using all the gun depression you have. And even if you angle just a little bit, it's impossible to pin. But this is the problem. People are suggesting that we put the Action 10's turret on the FV4202 to make it fair. Now, you guys don't realize, on Blitz, with the way the armor is viewed in sniper mode, having a turret like this at tier 10 for a vehicle that could fire Hesh would be very, very overpowered. Think about it. This gives you the time to aim, fire a Hesh shell with increased damage, and have a very unlikely chance for the enemy to pin you back, meaning that your DPM is just massively better than theirs. And this thing can do hills and side scraping fantastically, meaning that with the heat that it has as its pramo, that it's balanced. So you can see from the sides and the rear, it's got practically no armor, so if you do catch it that way, it has weaknesses. But from the front, you can play this thing like an absolute tank, and you'll see that. I have a replay coming up for you soon. But as we switch over to the FV4202, let's analyze some of the statistics of the tank. This was on PC, so it didn't have the exact top speed that it has on Blitz now. It has the same DPM as the Action 10, same aim time, same penetration, same everything else. Shell travel time was the same as well. It had the same gun depression and elevation. But the only difference was the horsepower. The other real difference in the 4202 that the Centurion 10 doesn't have is the terrible turret. And you'll see the difference. You could see all the red on the turret for the Centurion Action 10 that the Carnarvon has, and how difficult it was to pin that. But looking at the 4202, just look at that. From straight on, you could butter right through the turret. It doesn't matter how much hull armor you have. If that thing is the last tank in a battle and you're facing a 140 from right up close, that 140 is going to butter right through that turret, no matter how you angle it. There's nothing you can do to stop that thing from being pinned. And the hull armor might be great, but once you start firing heat from point-blank range, it's gonna go right through it. And if you go hull down in this thing, it's like having the Patton's cupola weak spot all over the front of the turret. It's abysmal. And even if you use every single bit of gun depression, there are still chances for it to be pinned. That is why I think we need to have the Centurion as either a replacement or a side option, because the Centurion Action 10 brings a different aspect of gameplay, one where you don't have to fire Hesh, and it's much more capable of brawling on hills. I'll leave you guys to your opinions in the comments, but we're going to move on to a Centurion Action 10 gameplay. Our player today is Vitalia266 on the Russian server. He's playing on Serene Coast today. Now, Serene Coast has two metas that everyone usually follows. Either you go to the northwest corner or the southwest corner if you're a medium or a TD, or you go to the peninsula out on the northeast corner or the southeast corner as a TD or a heavy, and you brawl there. Now, a lot of hold down tanks can brawl in the northeast corner, but Vitalia chooses to come to the northwest corner. He's joined by a T-57 Heavy and a few other of his tanks. Now, he's going to be able to use these hills up here very effectively. And as he gets up here, the BatchatBegins, the Tier 10 French medium tank, races by at 65 kilometers per hour, and the AMX CDC comes by and bounces a shot off his hull armor. Now, Vitalia is going to set up and start getting some shots into these guys from the safety of a hold down position. And at this point, the other team, even with Primo, is looking at auto ricochet angles at the Centurion. The only way they're going to be able to clip him is if they have a flanking shot right into his track, which is very unlikely. So, Vitalia is going to be focusing the AMX and the T10, which is the PC variant of the IS-8. And as he's using these angles, you can see the hill is covering him to the left, and the gun depression is protecting him from the front as he bounces around from the T10. Now, as you can see, Vitalia hasn't even needed to use a single bit of heat because he has the time to aim. He has the time to focus up and to look at those weak spots. Now, I don't know if you know the 4202 meta, but if you're staring down a T10 in the face and he looks at you and he fires a heat round, it's going to go through your cheeks. Right through the turret cheeks. But with the Centurion Action 10, if you wiggle a little bit, it's nearly impossible for that Tier 9 Soviet heavy tank to do anything about this guy. So, Vitalia takes a shot and ends him with an ammo rack. Pretty fantastic, if you ask me. Now, he notices that the E-75 is flanking around here, and he's going to try to do something about that to see if he can save his teammate. As far as Serene Coast goes, this midsection next to the train has a lot of rocks and a lot of cover, but you don't usually tend to want to be there unless you're a very fast flanking tank, or you have a lot of armor and you're able to soak up some hits. That's why the E-75 has rolled through here so unopposed so far. The T-57 Heavy is tearing him apart at this point, but Vitalia is not able to offer any assistance because he's a bit trapped by the Waffenträger auf Panzerfia on the other team, that Tier 9 German TD, who is keeping an eye on that angle and actually is a very good player. Vitalia spots a Scorpion G, the new Tier 8 German premium tank, the TD, who has the best alpha damage for a premium tank. I'll have to show you guys some replays. It's a fantastic tank. Oh, it's almost like the Borsig's 128mm, but you can also go 60 miles per hour. But that'll have to be saved for another video. At this point, Vitalia is using the low ground in order to hide his hull and in order to get some shots into these tanks right here. He takes a snapshot and misses, and then the Scorpion G bounces right off the front of him. Right off the front. A Jagdtiger staring him right in the face, and he's still got the confidence to sit here and brawl with all of these TDs and medium tanks and this Waffenträger right in his face. And he's still got the confidence to brawl. I don't know how many FV4202 players are out there, but you guys got to tell me, would you be sweating bullets in this situation? Because if I had the turret of the Centurion Action 10, I wouldn't be worried. I would not be worried in this situation. And I don't think Vitalia is. He's playing it calm and cool. He's not retreating. He's not losing ground. He's staying aggressive. And he's able to get these shots in and put down a really good player on the enemy team and start tracking a Jagdtiger and start just annihilating his health. You can see, it may not have the fastest reload, but it's good enough to permatrack as well. And he still hasn't needed to fire one premium shot. Not one. And yet the damage keeps racking up, as you can see in the top left corner next to the team. This guy has done so much damage. In Blitz, he probably would have the damage record by now. Probably. Don't quote me on that. Certainly for a Centurion Action 10, because it's not even in the game. But this is why I think it needs to be an option. If they're going to give you the T62A and the 140 as an option for the T54, why not give a tank that can hold down with a heat gun and a tank that can snipe and use Hesh? It seems like a logical option for players who want a difference in playstyle, who need a difference in playstyle. I rarely see the 4202 when Atlas does competitive games because it's just not able to hold its ground. If you get flanked by 2 Object 140s, what are you going to do? You're not in an Object 140 yourself. You're not in a T-62. You cannot bounce in that tank. Not against 140s firing heat shells. It's not competitive. As we keep moving on, Vitalia's done fantastic, but now he's down to 3v6. Make that a 3v5. He's holding the flank where he started off here, and he's doing a pretty good job of it. They've had to force that Scorpion G back, and Vitalia's going to clip him right in the turret. You can see that fantastic gun dispersion from that side. Now, Vitalia's in a little bit of a mess here. He's got a couple tanks to his right and left, so he's in a bit of a pincer move here. But he's going to deal with this fantastically. The Gorilla came up, and the Gorilla bounced off of his turret. The Gorilla bounced off of his turret. And this guy, but look at the composure. Just look at the composure. He's able to put in these shots, not even worried about the Gorilla. Not one bit. Come over and finish the guy off. What a legend. Right now, he's got to deal with the Jaegeru at cap, though. And that is a problem because there's also a Jagdtiger near base. That Jagdtiger has caused him a little bit of problems before, so now it's just him with his health versus a Jagdtiger and a Jaegeru. Now, if these two subpar players manage to double tap him, he's gone. Because the Jaegeru on PC can do 1,000 plus. Average. The Jagdtiger can do up to 500, I believe. Maybe 600. So if these two get lucky, he's gone. So, Vitalia's playing it smart. He's staying unspotted because no one's drawing him out with cap. And he's going to try to find, bingo, the Jagdtiger. Now, even though the Centurion does have great gun dispersion, RNG can still fuck you sometimes. So, you know, props to Vitalia so far for racking up the amount of damage that he has. And for absolutely carrying the team that he's on. So, at this point, he's wondering what to do when the situation becomes abundantly clear. Jaegeru's in cap. Jagdtiger's far away from cap. He's got to go back and reset. Maybe isolate the Jagdtiger at that point. Bingo. There he is. Even with heat, it's going to be very questionable to hit him from this distance. But you can see, Vitalia's calm and composed. He hasn't loaded one heat shell. Not one. This guy, absolute legend. And with the 68 rounds of ammo that you get in the Centurion Action 10, there's no need. There's no need to overpack heat with this thing. If you've got the confidence of an FV4202 player firing APCR with the turret of an Action 10, you're going to do perfectly fine. So, the Jagdtiger spotted just behind him, so now he's got to rush the Jaegeru, but the Jaegeru knows he's here, so what's he going to do? He's got to reset cap. There's no time to deal with the Jagdtiger at this point. So, he moves forward. Where's the Jaegeru going to be? Where's he going to be? Oh, the cap stopped. The Jaegeru stopped capping. There's no pressure anymore. He's going to track him. He's been tracked. Oh my goodness. What a legend. Keeping the composure there, right in the face of a Jaegeru. He manages to track him, but deals no damage. He's on the move. Oh, he's not going for the tracking shot. He bounces. He's coming around. He's coming around. Oh, he's got him now. Absolutely got him. Look at that. Not one heat shell needed to deal with one of the most toughest TDs at tier 10. Boom. He's gone. Only person left. One Jagdtiger. And with the health difference between them, as you can see on top, the Jagdtiger only having 452, he's only going to need 2 shells. Here comes. 1 shell in. And it's night-night to the Jagdtiger. GG to Vitalia, and GG to his team. They win. Fantastic game from the guy. As you can see here, Vitalia did a great job getting 10k damage, getting an ace tanker, getting a top gun. And I just want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think of the Centurion Action 10. Let me know in the comments below. Carlos out.